Welcome
Thanks,
back.
Nate.
Thanks, Nate. Welcome back to a special, no, not really special, episode 6 of the Station Area. We're kind of taking episode 4, where we talked about the meta and what actually is considered the meta, like what type of decks. And we're going to try to break each type of deck down, specifically aggro and control. We're going to talk about those two types of decks in different videos. So today we're going to do aggro. So we're going to start off. Normally aggro decks would like to kill by turn 2, sometimes, not all the time. 3 at the latest, because their power scales down as the game goes on.
You take advantage of your opponent not having that much.
Correct. It doesn't. The longer the game goes, the worse your win percentage gets. But the sooner the game, like on turns 2 and 3 and 4, you have your best chance to kill. So, Aaron, you're our local aggro player. When building a deck, an aggro deck, what do you look for as a character in characters first? Let's start with the character. So, like, say you're starting fresh, you're just building a deck, you're looking through USF Ultra, UFS Ultra. Yes. And what sticks out as an aggro character for you?
Built-in speed and damage pumps.
Okay, is that the only thing, or do you see anything else? Let's say, like, take Ringman. He has that, but he also has. You're looking for, like, say he didn't have the minus difficulty. Would you still play him as an aggro character?
Yes, because he still effectively says my second attack is throw it down.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so moving from that, would you say a 7-hand size aggro character is better than a 6-hand size aggro character?
50-50?
If the aggro, let's say the 7-hand size character doesn't have a speed and damage bonus. All they do is get 1 card over your 6-hand size that does get speed and damage. Would you play that 7-hander just because they get the 1 card?
No.
You wouldn't?
I like the stats better.
Okay, fair enough. So, Tyler, my question to you is, when building an aggro deck, I hate saying that, but when building an aggro deck, what do you feel the right amount of attacks are? Not like, what difficulties, but like the mass of attacks. What would your sweet spot be for those?
I usually aim for a third.
A third,
or slightly below a third.
Okay, so for every three,
if
every 3 cards you draw, you see 1 attack.
If it's a 59 plus character, I'm looking at about 18 attacks.
18 attacks. So that would be roughly about 1 every 3 cards.
Yeah.
That's pretty good numbers for that. So Aaron, going back to you. Of those, of those 18 cards attacks, do you prefer to see more of them be higher difficulty or have a lot less, like a smaller difficulty? Let's take Ringman out of the equation because he breaks the game for difficulty wise. So would you play more 5s than like 4s or 3s, or would you play more 3s than say 5s?
I like to average a nice spread of them.
Okay.
Like if I can get maybe in the deck, say 2 attacks of each difficulty, that's great.
Okay.
Even if it's averaging just 4s and 5s.
Okay.
Because then you can start with the 5s and then lead in with the 4s and just keep going. So would you say that when you, because in a deck profile video I did for Woodman, I talk about attack spread and your attack curve. So are you aiming for a 5, like 6, 7, like you want to just scale up 1 at a time with your attacks? Okay. Now, what happens if that's not the most efficient way to play your deck? So say like you play multiple 5s. Now, would you have to play a character that breaks the rules like that? No.
Or would you want to, or could you, what would you do? If say your deck that you're building has more 5s than 4s and 3s. Let's just say it just works out that way. Take like Shadow Man, for instance. Like he can be an aggro deck. He plays a bunch of 5s. He has Shadow Blade, Inzuna Drop, stuff like that. Now, what would you do to curtail that attack curve?
You just change the deck slightly to include more spam so you can get more build off the early turns.
Okay, alright. So spam for spam's sake, you would say?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how much spam in an aggro deck, Tyler, would you think that we need to facilitate, let's say, a turn 2 kill playing 5 difficulty attacks? What would you say? I'll bounce back to Aaron after that, and then we'll discuss. But
I usually aim for about 18 to 20 spam anyway. If you go a little bit above 20, that you're pretty much guaranteeing that you can add. If you're playing a 6-hander, you want to build at least 4. So as long as that the number that you're giving facilitates building 4 at the highest percentage, then that's where you want to go.
okay, Aaron, your opinion on that?
I like having at least 20 spam.
Okay.
The more the better, because if you can build 4 or 5, or if you're lucky 6 on the turn 1, you can usually go in pretty hard on turn 2
and not pay and
not suffer
without,
for it.
Yeah, not suffer for it. Because like, see you, Trent. Have a nice night.
Yep.
I'll talk to you tomorrow about going to Omaha.
Yep.
Okay.
I should be home by 4.
That's fine. That's cool, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
That's Trent. Everyone, he's leaving. So with that, what happens when we get into? We have too much. We're playing spam without relevant abilities. Like, let's say, eventually, the spam you play doesn't have really good abilities, but you're just playing it for spam's sake and the block. You know, why would you even do it?
Well, that's when you're putting most of your abilities and synergies into the attacks and less of the foundations.
Okay, so you're saying that
Like if you revert back to Wheel and Steel days, that was all in the attacks, and you played foundations for the sake of passing your checks.
chess, yeah, and Zoe, like the Zoe meta for the most part. Okay, so we take those. So if say we want to throw some actions and assets into this aggro deck, what are we looking for? Are we looking for? I know we're looking for throw it down. Are we playing all good, or are we playing an all character? Is all right now a better aggro symbol because it plays throw it down?
It's what I prefer to go to for my aggro decks.
Okay, so
Just because of Throw It Down.
okay, so
And stuff like Steel Resurrection and
Yeah.
if you
well,
build-
that also goes into the
Yeah.
type of aggro. That goes
Right.
into the deck itself. But what does an action or asset need to have to warrant inclusion into an aggro deck?
Search and or damage.
So you're saying that
Like Droom of Fame is a
Droom of
great
Fame.
one.
Okay. Any type of thing. I would say any foundation. It's include foundations in this.
Yeah.
So any foundation that can net you a card draw.
Yes.
So or add damage.
Yep.
Speed. If they can do both, that's even better. Are you worried about block spread in an aggro deck?
Only if you're trying to be able to make sure you can stabilize if you don't kill them.
Okay. So are you still trying to manage a block spread of equality in a way? Like,
If you're going for mindless beats, it does not matter. Like
Okay.
if that Turbo Man deck was just,
Yeah.
I'll play these cards.
yeah, then you just if you win, you win. If you don't,
But if
you
you're
don't.
also trying to play a smart aggro, you want to be able to make sure you can stabilize past turn 3.
Past turn 3. Okay, all right. So now we'll take that. What are we looking for, like attacks and act? I mean, we already have our attacks. What about actions and assets? How much do we play? Like, would we play like 7 to 8 if we have 18 attacks with the?
Average.
Let's just say we're a 63 card deck offhand.
Yeah.
So we got 18 attacks, so that leaves us what, 50, 45, whatever. I don't know. How you do the math? 45, right?
45.
63 minus, yeah, 45. There we go. I'm good at math. So we go like 7. Let's say 7. We got 4 Drew. We got 4 Throwdown, 3 Dream of Fame. We're playing all everybody. So
That's the spread I usually go.
so
Throw It Down and
after
Free
that, that's 8 minus 45. 45 minus 8, that leaves us with 37 foundations. So 20 of those are going to be spam. So we have 17 foundations with relevant abilities. So those, I said 17, right?
Yes.
17 foundations have to have abilities that are worth playing that augment our attacks. That it depends, because you could either go hyper defensive in case you don't kill after turn 3, or you can go to a mixed bag where you're playing like say if you're playing good, which you can still play throw it down character as all. You're playing what's the Guile 3/5? God damn it, I can't remember. Refusing to let go. That card is offensive and defensive, so you may want to find cards that do both. That depending on your symbol, of course. So. Are you looking for 3 difficulty foundations in this aggro deck? If it allows itself to be put in the deck like a card like refusing to let go?
I would say very, very few.
Okay,
like maybe refusing to let go at like.
What about Surveyor?
Surveyor if you can guarantee.
Is that a 4-of?
Maybe like a 3-of.
In an aggro deck, you're probably going to have momentum. So, in a chaos build in Earth, you got throws. Not often that Earth aggro is throws. It's more like something random. But could you fit those in there?
Yeah, Surveyor.
Because remember, we only have 17 slots for 4 cards that actually matter.
Right,
because
Surveyor Surveyor is one of those cards that always finds a spot as long as you can guarantee a way to use it.
That's fine.
So if you are a character that uses momentum or even takes momentum just so you can have Surveyor as a second hand,
okay,
that's always something that you
So Aaron, in the same thought, on average, what do you think about 3 difficulty foundations in an aggro deck? Do you play them?
Only if it really matters. I'll play like maybe 1 or 2 different 3 diffs.
Okay, so like if they would you consider them win more cards?
I usually mostly use the 3 diffs as defensive pieces.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, so we got our deck, so we're shipping it. So on average, we want to try to kill on turn 3.
Yeah.
So and then we want to have some pieces in it that we stay alive after turn 3 with a chance to probably stabilize and win.
Yes.
All right. So I think we got it. We get it. Did we discuss the topic all right? All right. So I guess that's our opinion. I hate doing opinion videos, but this is kind of like our take on aggro. Take it as you will. Leave it in like, comment, subscribe in the box below.
Leave a comment as to what you think an aggro deck should entail.
Yeah.
If you disagree with us, please let us know.
Please, because we're not good, so you can let us know. But all right, Nate, hit the button. Night.